What's going on, y'all? So listen. Girl, what is going on? Like, the world is going crazy. Anyway, I hope y'all are having a good day, okay? It's a little dreary. I ain't gonna lie. It look like, let me check my app right quick, because it really do look like it's about to rain again. Listen, girl, I was on lunch. I went to lunch at like 2 o'clock this afternoon. Probably like 15, 20 minutes into lunch, it rained for a good 2 minutes, and then the sun came out. What? What? I said, oh, so you just wanted to do a little dousing and get back to what it is. Now it looked like, yeah, it's about to, a severe thunderstorm until 9 o'clock. Then it's gonna start back up 12 o'clock in the morning, all the way till 4. I don't care. Get it all out now, because I don't want to go out tomorrow and all that mess. But anyway, girl, I hope y'all are having a good time. Let me just say, I'm scrolling trying to get my notes together, and I just so happened to look on Twitter, right? Because I seen something. Now, granted, I was on what is it, the Shade Room or the Neighborhood Talk, when I had opened up my Instagram. And I seen this post. Okay, so y'all seen a video of Keke Palmer, right? Keke Palmer out here, she went to the Las Vegas show to see Usher, whatever. She was singing with Usher or dancing with him and all that stuff. Y'all know when Usher come down there into the audience, especially with the celebrity women, and then, he get down with them or whatever, having a good time. Now, she had on like this little leotards type of situation with a lace on top, and it was cute for my opinion. It was decent. It was a little wholesome. I don't care. We in Vegas. What is she supposed to dress like, a church lady or whatever? And so, her boyfriend or her baby daddy, I'm gonna call him that because I just lost a lot of respect for him. Her baby daddy, first of all, I didn't really have respect for him because I didn't know him. Outside of the fact that he is Dro on Insecure's younger brother, I don't care. And mind you, Saronis, that's the dude that played Dro. Y'all know he had a baby with Tasha from Insecure, right? The bank bitch, okay? And it took him a minute to go ahead and to, claim that baby and want to, be a daddy to that baby. Mind you, I think either he was cheating on somebody or whatever. Either way, the baby came around some type of way that it wasn't supposed to be here. That's what it felt like. I felt like they were sneaking around with each other, something like that. And now you got this fool, the brother, Darius, Keke baby daddy. He gets under a post and basically was like, why you out here, with what you got on? Let me find it. He said, it's the outfit though. You're a mom. Okay? You're a mom. He put that on Twitter. Mind you, it didn't seem like it had no emotions or whatever, but we took that as, because at least I did when I first initially saw it, I put laughing emojis up in the comments, right? And I'm just thinking like, oh, okay, he's just joking. He being funny because, that's how Keke is. So I'm thinking that he going to be a little funny too because it ran off on him or whatever, because Keke, she don't take nothing serious or whatever. We love that about Keke, okay? Strong, independent black woman. Girl, come to find out he was dead serious about that, because then he gets on Twitter talking about we live in a generation where a man of the family doesn't want the wife and mother to his kids to showcase booty cheeks to please others, and he gets told how much of a hater he is. This is my family and my representation. I have standards and morals to what I believe. I rest my case. First of all, let's just back this up, okay? Let's just break this down. We live in a generation where a man of the family doesn't want his wife and mother to his kids to showcase her booty cheeks to please others. All right, so let's break this down. When did y'all get married? I don't believe y'all are married. So until y'all are married, then I could give you a little bit of leeway, because these are things that you could possibly need to discuss. But again, y'all not married, so that's not your wife. That's just the mother of your child and possibly your girlfriend at this point. And technically speaking, until you put a goddamn ring on the finger, I feel like you really ain't got no authority to say a damn thing about what she can do or what she can't do. That's one, okay? Two, who are you as a man to try to police a woman's body and what they put on, okay? And for you to get upset and in your feelings, it's Usher. It's a girl's trip. You know your girl is not about to be out here doing nothing or whatever. And I know somebody gonna be like, but I mean, it's a respect thing. She ain't have to put that on. Baby, stop. And that's what I need y'all to stop. We are in 2023, okay? You can respect your spouse, but you don't have to police everything that they goddamn do. We are out here fighting for women's rights, human rights, and you got niggas in their own relationship trying to police what their woman does. I just don't understand that. Okay, she wasn't being disrespectful. You knew that. And if you such the family man and you the head of your household or whatever, how come she didn't feel nothing to go ahead and call you and say, look, babe, this what I'm putting on. You like it or whatever. She obviously don't respect you that much if she went on ahead and put that on, no idea where you would have a problem with it, because she's fucking Keke Palmer. And not just because of that, because she's who the fuck she is, and she can do whatever the hell it is that she wants to do. Nothing about that was disrespectful. I just don't see it. Y'all just so damn sensitive. Y'all want to be so old school minded. She wasn't throwing her ass nowhere. She was just doing what she do. She was just dancing with Usher. Like, come on. You wanted her to put on some slacks and a blouse. Okay, that's what you wanted her to have on, long sleeve or whatever. Keke Palmer been Keke Palmer before you even came into the picture, and she'd be Keke Palmer even when you leave the picture, okay? I guarantee you're not married, so you can't tell this lady what it is that she needs to do. That's one. Two, even if you did have an issue with the fact that she had on what she had on, why did you have to come on the internet and comment on it publicly to publicly shame her and embarrass her, coming off very misogynistic, okay? And it's like, at the end of the day, you could have talked to your woman, if that's your woman, and the mother of your children, and, you know, she's the, in your household, right? Since you got that type of control, okay? And I get it, you know, just, you felt some type of way. Again, you could have just handled that off screen. You ain't have to put that on the internet. And then getting your feelings when, as you said, we live in this generation where you don't feel a certain way, but then because you get told how much of a hater you are. Listen, because you have, this is your family, my representation, and I have standards and morals into what I believe. That's fine. You should have kept that offline. You ain't want nobody to have their opinions, which you should have known was going to happen, because it's been happening to many of people, and especially this past weekend, it's been happening. Keep the shit offline and don't get in your feelings when people come at you and be like, who the hell are you to try to police her body? Because at the end of the day, she really wasn't being disrespectful as she could have. Girl, I got toothpaste on my goddamn shirt. Anyway, don't mind it. If you see a little white spot, fuck it. I was just really like, child, who the fuck are you? I just don't. Niggas are making me so mad, like, again. And I know somebody gonna be like, but that is, bitch, it is dark outside. Oh, it's about to storm. Anyway, listen, my thing is, first of all, it's giving very much he's a follower of Kevin Samuels, okay? That's just what it gives. Second of all, you can't tell nobody who is the breadwinner of the family, of the y'all little unit, what they do and what they can't do. That's all I'm going to say on that one. You not her husband, and you damn sure ain't the moneymaker. And I feel like that's bothering you. Keke been out here showing her titties. Keke been out here showing that ass. Keke been out here doing all of that shit ever since that baby been gone, came out. And now you got an issue with it because she was dancing with Usher in what she had on. That's the problem. Baby, they on a girls trip to see fucking Usher in Las Vegas. Let them fucking live, bitch. She just pushed out your goddamn baby. Come on now. Give us some space. Ugh, I just said... niggas just be, and then let's talk about this since we going there. The Essence Fest was this past weekend, right? And there's been some type of issues that's been going on. You had a couple of people that performed that people had an issue with. You had Janelle Monáe who performed, and you had Megan Thee Stallion. Now, if you don't fuck with Janelle Monáe and what she doing now, I really don't give a damn, and I don't care to hear your opinion. Again, we talking about this whole situation of policing people's bodies, policing women's bodies, telling them what they need to do, what they shouldn't do, and all this stuff. But yet, you know, it's like everybody want to be fake mad, do these think pieces and want to say, oh, Janelle must be going through a midlife crisis. You got Uncle Luke from 2 Live Crew who made a whole career off of degrading women bodies, okay? Putting people, you remember when Boosie said, put your pussy on live for $1,000? That was Uncle Luke first, okay? And he really did that shit. You know what I'm saying? Uncle Luke had bitches coming over there, and I'm sorry to call him that, but I'm just saying. He had women out there just throwing their coochie everywhere and ass and titties at every shows and all this stuff. It don't matter. It don't matter. And I don't care if it was a different time period. I don't care how old he was. I'm guaranteed you he was in his 30s doing that to women when he was performing and doing all that shit. And I don't give a fuck if you're trying to say that, oh, well, this is the Essence Fest. You don't need to be doing that. Kids out there. What the fuck is kids supposed to be doing? First, what are kids there for? And I don't need that explanation. Please don't do that. Please don't say, and you doing this in front of the kids. Why the kids there? That's a you problem. You know damn well who the hell is performing, and you seen what's been going on with that person and how they performing, especially of lately. Why would you have kids there if you want to make that excuse? Every time y'all have an issue with somebody that's doing something that is out of your comfort zone, not ours, but your comfort zone, because you want to go by societal views and all of a sudden have a morality code that you want to be strictly dickly to. And meanwhile, you out here fucking sucking and doing all this shit, and you just like, well, at least I'm doing it behind closed doors. Bitch, don't nobody give a fuck. Don't nobody give a fuck, okay? Why the kids there, if that's the case? Y'all use that excuse all the time, and I'm just sitting here like, who told you to bring some kids? Because that's the excuse that I was saying. And you gonna do that, pull your titty out, and then there's kids in the audience. Ain't nobody tell you to bring your kid there. Why would you bring your kid to a fucking Essence Festival? Ain't shit at the Essence Festival besides even Missy Elliott, because Missy Elliott sings about sex and pussy too. Okay, that's either her getting it or receiving it. You know what I'm saying? So hey, it is what it is. And shout out to Missy because she did the damn thing. My whole thing is, why you have kids there looking at Janelle Monáe? Why you got kids there looking at Megan Thee Stallion? You guys, the Essence Festival is not for your old people no more. And as you already could see, given the lineup, you know who is coming because they show you exactly who is coming. Okay, because that's what determines what night you go to, because you want to see who you want to see. Now, if you get a ticket to go see Janelle Monáe, 9 out of 10, Janelle Monáe is doing this to promote her album, which is actually doing good. You know what I'm saying? I'm damn sure finna get a ticket to go to her concert, and I hope she show all the titties in the world, okay? And that ain't just me being lesbian. That's just me liking for the fucking people being free. Just because people want to be free with themselves and they finally coming into who they are, oh, she coming into her, she having a midlife crisis, or she just doing this for attention because her albums wasn't selling. Baby, at the end of the day, Janelle Monáe, y'all just don't know. Mama don't even have to put out no music no more, and Mama will be good, because you want to know what Mama does also? Mama got businesses on the side, and Mama is an actress. A good actress at that, okay? And she can get roles. She get roles with the big white folks, okay? So, like, Mama will be good. You know what I'm saying? To talk about, oh, she doing this out of desperation. No, the bitch told you exactly what she was doing. And if you actually listened to her music, it's always been there. It's just that, you know, she presented it differently. And just like every other artist that comes through, they have a new era and they change up, okay? Next thing you know, y'all getting upset in your feelings because back in the day when she first came out, you didn't really give her a chance because all she used to wear was those suits. All she used to wear was black and white, the suits with the white and all this stuff or whatever. And people used to complain, damn, why she always wearing them suits? Why she always covered up? Why she this? And when she started getting uncovered or whatever, now it's a problem. Because, oh, just because you doing this, you ain't got to show your titty, you ain't got to... Girl, shut the fuck up. It's going with the goddamn album. And then y'all getting mad because she showed her covered areola. Like, you didn't even see the areola nor the nipple. It was covered with a fucking pasty. Mind you, these are the same people getting pissed off at this who was around when Lil' Kim showed up to the MTV Movie Awards or Music Awards, and she had that purple pasty titty out, and Diana Ross was playing with it on the goddamn stage. But y'all mad at Janelle Monáe. This is not nothing new. And Lil' Kim wasn't going through no midlife crisis. Lil' Kim was being Lil' Kim. And y'all just don't pay attention. Just say you never paid attention that much to Janelle Monáe to understand that this is really her and how she's doing it. I am so mad that I just went and put toothpaste on my fucking shirt, and it is showing... Like, I literally just did this. It is bothering me so much because I don't want to come on here just looking, And then the whole Megan Thee Stallion situation, because it looked like I got somebody on my shirt. I don't do them type of things. I don't do them type of things. Y'all know that. The whole Megan Thee Stallion shit. Now y'all mad she got up there and she was twerking. That's your fault again. How are you mad at Megan Thee Stallion being at Essence Fest, having a twerk off and shaking her ass or whatever, because that's all she does on her shows? She do her songs, she bring the fans up, let them display their little twerk skills or whatever, and then she get the fuck up off the stage after she twerk a little too. That is the essence of a Megan Thee Stallion show, and you are actually getting your feelings because that happened. She was supposed to do what? Change it up, baby. Also, the theme of Essence this year was celebrating 50 years of hip hop. That's why you had Lauryn Hill. That's how come you had Missy Elliott. That's why you had Megan Thee Stallion, bitch. Y'all are so fucking dumb. Y'all want to get fucking mad at every goddamn thing and do a think piece on everything, and it's not even fucking needed. If something don't fit your taste, block it and move on. Why are you getting upset about it? I just don't understand it. Don't try to yuck somebody else young just because you don't understand it don't fit your moral code that you all of a sudden got. Bitch, 9 out of 10 them old heads that was down there that felt some type of way about Essence Fest and that titty being out and Megan up there popping her ass. Y'all probably was at Freaknik, bitch. And then it's in New Orleans. Bonnie Blue said it best, bitch. That's what they fucking do in New Orleans is pop ass, and you got a problem with that? I said, child, get the hell out of here. Oh, too many contradictions for me and hypocrites. God damn. I can understand that certain people or certain things just ain't your cup of tea. That's understandable, but to be writing think pieces and to say somebody is going through a mill, girl, get the fuck out of here. Anyway, I'm going to I wish I would have went to Essence Fest this year. I keep on saying it, and also they trying to get a younger crowd to get that anyway. So, that's why anyway, moving on. If you went to Essence Fest, how was it, y'all? Because I'm really trying to go. I keep on saying, I'm going to go. And each time I keep on missing the time to go ahead. And then this year, bitch, this year been concert season. I ain't had it, okay? I ain't even going to lie. I forgot that it was coming up, and I had forgot all about getting a ticket and everything. I was getting everything else and forgot that one. But y'all tell me about that. Y'all honest opinions. Y'all know y'all gonna spill it. And speaking of spill, baby, y'all was on Twitter right before. Was it the 4th of July? No, it was on Monday and probably Sunday. It started on Sunday. Girl, you get on Twitter, probably the mobile app. Now, from what I heard, if you would have got on the actual desktop app or whatever, like on Safari or whatever, you pull your thing up, your Twitter account up, and you can actually see it like normal. Baby, you on the goddamn app, whatever app you had, and it'll say, listen, Twitter rate limit exceeded. And then I was like, excuse me. Now, it had been doing that sometime before, okay? And then it'll pop right back. Twitter just been going haywire, whatever, ever since Elon brought his ass over on board. And so we was all like, girl, what's going on? Maybe it'll be back in an hour or so. Girl, it was like that the whole damn day. And come to find out, he did that because he trying to, as he said, trying to limit, people coming in doing data scrapping and these AI accounts and all this stuff, taking out data, people data and all that shit. Girl, don't nobody care about that. Ain't nobody put that the real I mean, I just feel like, yeah, that's a possibility, but even if you do that, that's still not gonna stop whatever it is that you're trying to stop. It is coming down. Wow. I mean, it is dark as shit, y'all. I'm stirred. But anyway, you got that going on, right? But then he said, if you not verified, you only get to see, not even tweet 600 tweets. You can only see 600 tweets per day. If you are verified, you get to see 6,000 tweets a day. And then if you are a new account, you only get 400 tweets a day that you can see. And I was just sitting here like, what? This is really stupid. And I said, I see what it is. He's trying to get people to buy. He's trying to get people to buy and to get verified, because if you ever go on your account And especially if you go, like, I don't know, not on the app, but if you log on to your account when you're on the your computer or whatever, it's gonna say get verified. Like, it never had that. It just had Twitter Blue on the side where it had the profile, your bookmarks and all that stuff, where you could click it and everything. Yeah, it had Twitter Blue right there. But now when you come on and you log on to your Twitter account on your desktop, right up here at the top, it's gonna say get verified. He wants people to get verified and pay money monthly for this damn thing. And I'll be good goddamn, okay? Because at the end of the day, I'm part of the group that started fucking Twitter, okay? We got on the Twitter train real early, okay? And it was free as hell. And it did not have that many problems. Baby, I was back in the day when Twitter went down and they said, oh, something went wrong. It was the little whale that was up in there. That freaking page came up, okay? That's how far back in the day I had my Twitter account. And you think I'm finna pay for something? Girl, if I've been getting it for free this whole time, what makes you think I'm finna pay for something? Hell no. So he had to go ahead and put it back to where it was because we was going over there to a new app called Spill. All right? Now, they said that it's an app for everybody, but we made it all niggas only, okay? That's just what it is. And people are a little confused by it because it's a new app, whatever, but it's basically Twitter. I think they said it started by two black guys who were ex-employees of Twitter, you know what I'm saying? And so, you know, I prefer it a little bit because it's getting rid of, like, all of the mess. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got our mess, you know, Black Twitter mess or whatever, but not that homophobic stuff, you know, the misogynistic stuff. And, you know, you can't come over there with your hotep shit and all that stuff or whatever, making people feel uncomfortable, attacking people and all that stuff or whatever, because they cutting that shit out right away. And I am so here for that. Some people was in their feelings because you can't put porn on there yet. I said, y'all are really something else. But let me tell you something. Girl, Twitter porn be good. Somebody got stuck in the rain. You hear them screaming. Anyway, Twitter porn be good. I ain't even gonna hold you. I ain't gonna hold you. Sometimes that shit be really, really good. I be like, oh, okay. And I have to watch myself because I be at work on my desktop. And then people be coming past. And then all of a sudden, a pussy and a dick come up. And I'm just like, oh my God, let me cut this off. I ain't took that damn bit. I'm like, oh. Like, I ain't ashamed of those things, but bitch, I don't need y'all seeing that making it think like I'm looking at porn on the work computer. No, I will never forget. It was this guy who was the maintenance guy. Was he maintenance? I don't know. He used to work at Harold Washington, and I just know he got fired because he used to come in early and he used to watch porn on the computers. I'm like, what the hell? So you mean to tell me? She said, not trying to be that, fuck it, Kiki. Not trying to be that person, but I love my man, period. That's fine. That's fine, but he ain't have to do what he had to do. We already know you was going to stay. Oh, bitch. Y'all just irk me sometimes. Anyway, yeah, if you going to do that, how come you just couldn't come in with your device and use the Wi-Fi instead of just pulling it up on a work computer? Y'all know anybody that got fired for doing some stupid shit like that at y'all jobs or anybody else's job? Put that down in the comments, because I just be like, how do you feel comfortable watching porn at work, especially when you ain't got no real cubicle to be by yourself or whatever? I just don't understand it. That's uncomfortable. I don't know. I gotta be. Get y'all asses in the house. Anyway, moving on from that. And speaking of shit, did y'all hear about that video that's going around, the Nair booty hole video? Now, the guy that posted this, okay, let me just put this out here. Because if I had to see it, y'all got to see it. And I don't know if it's still up, but I watched that shit last night because I just so happened to be scrolling on TikTok. Somebody had said something about it on Twitter. That was like a couple of days before with that. It was like, why is booty hole pulsating with Nair in it on my timeline? I said, what? What? And I'm looking at the reactions to what people I said, and I just said, I don't think I need to see that. So I just so happened to be on TikTok, and the person who did the video, his video popped up and somebody cut it off right before anything could happen, and they did a reaction to it. They was giving a reaction to it. And I remember seeing this TikTok creator who did the video, because he the one that was he's like a Taylor Swift big stan, and he talking about she's one of the best rappers. I'm like, what? That don't even make sense. So right then and there, I just knew it was gonna be some mess. Okay, I just knew it was gonna be some mess. I clicked on the link just to be nosy, because now it was just telling me everybody keep on talking about this. So let me just see, because I just feel like sometimes y'all be putting 20 on 10. Baby, they said you can find it on YouTube, so I'm thinking it's on YouTube. It can't be that bad what people are trying to make it, right? Wrong. Y'all, I almost choked, because y'all, listen. I clicked on it. And all you gotta do, if you want to go there, because I'm about to tell you so you won't have to do it, but if you want to, and if that's your cup of tea, go ahead. Now, I watch porn, so it didn't really bother me, you know what I'm saying, what he was doing. But it was the fact that it was on YouTube. And I was just really confused about that. Because I said, don't this go against community guidelines? I guess it's a way to get a past that by labeling the video educational, because, you know, I guess he is trying to show you a tutorial, whatever, how to nair your asshole. And when I'm thinking about how this video was going to be, I'm thinking that he's just sitting there and he's telling you that, you know. No, when he's first pop up, it's 2 minutes and 57 seconds. And when I tell you it was, hello, this is how you nair your asshole. And next thing you know, he said, look, this is my asshole right now. This is how it look. I have a hairy asshole. Now when Sexy Red said my booty hole brown, that motherfucker took it to heart, bitch. He showed us his shit. Next thing you know, cut screen, that bitch had his ass tooted up in the camera. You see the back of his balls just dangling, and then you see the booty hole that's hairy as shit. I said, excuse the fuck out of me. Jump scare. I said, wait a minute, bitch. You mean to tell me YouTube is letting this on? And it didn't blur it out, baby. It was plain as day. I said, baby, did I turn to Pornhub or something? Like, what was going on? Is this Twitter porn? No, baby, this is on YouTube, all right? Dude is naked. Dude is showing us his asshole. Dude literally got back up and showed us the Nair bottle, put the Nair in his hand, and smothered the fucking Nair all over his asshole. Like, he got all up in it, bitch. I said, and you know, once you get started, sometimes you just can't stop. So I'm just sitting here like, in shock that this is on YouTube. And I'm just like, oh, wow. And he just, when he started to wipe, he was showing us wiping. And I said, so you just gonna do your booty hole? You not gonna do your ball sack? Because the ball sack was kind of hairy too. I think you should take care of that as well. But baby, I'm telling, he was showing us all the swipes and everything and how much hair was coming off. And he had them cheeks was spread wide like this. And then once it was all off and clean, I had to give it to him. He got it. Okay, it was crystal clear. I said, not a hair in sight. That bitch had that mother. He said, now this is the final result. It's not the fact that he spread his cheeks like that so you can see his asshole. It was the fact that the booty hole started pulsating. Like he was trying to put something out. Like, you know, when you're trying to make sure it's all out. You know what I'm talking? It started going. I said, now we didn't need no tutorial for that. All you could have did was just say, put it between your cheeks. Make sure you stay it on for this long. Wipe the shit off. And just see if it's clean. That's it. We didn't need to see that. I said, oh my God, how was this up? And by the time I got on there, it was like 8.8 million views. How? How is that on YouTube? I just didn't understand. Girl, if you want to go watch it for yourself, look it up yourself. But baby, when that thing started pulsating, I said, what the fuck is this? Let me click the fuck up off of this shit. But anyway, moving on from that, child, Speaking of, let me go back to Megan Thee Stallion. India Ari had some shit to say. Like, she really wasn't here for Megan Thee Stallion and Janelle Monáe. I hate when people be like, I like give you a backhanded compliment, like, you know, they butter you up and be like, now girl, I love you and I do all this, but you know, I'm not here for this and I'm not here for that. She had a problem with Megan Thee Stallion's performance. She had a problem with Janelle Monáe and all this shit. And let me listen to what she said. She said Hot Girl Boot Camp was full of, no, that's what Essence didn't have no problem with it. They was promoting the hell out of Janelle and Megan. But India Ari jumped underneath the comments for Essence and said the issue is what is context. Humanity does everything, but does everything belong in a stage? No. It's everything for kids. Bitch, kids shouldn't have been there. Okay? No, it's everything for everybody. No. So when we as a culture make something like this mainstream, it shows a lack of discretion and discernment. Girl, to those in the comments who laugh at anyone who wants to change these things for our culture, you certainly have the right. Her comment continues, just as many folks have the right to want our mainstream international export out music to show us in a respectful light. You want to police black folks, and I cannot understand when black folks do that to other black folks, because other cultures do that to us already. They want us to be one specific way, and we are not a monolith, okay? We are all type of ways. Quit trying to fucking put a fucking chokehold and a leash on us and what we want to do. Everybody ain't finna get up there covered. Everybody ain't finna get up there and just be standing around doing nothing, okay? It's just not gonna happen. And I like to go on to the record and say, this won't age well. That's my issue. It's been aging fine. From the fucking day of time, women been putting their... Bitch, you had a problem with Aretha Franklin either got on Soul Train or whatever and she had her titties out. Y'all gotta find that episode. She had that fishnet top and them titties was all the way down to her goddamn navel. And you saw right through it. She ain't had no damn bra on. You saw nipple and everything. And I said, Miss Aretha, this was back in the 60s and 70s. I said, goddamn bitch, they let you get away with that. And they put that on broadcast TV. They put that on regular fucking TV, bitch. But now we got an issue again. Like, come on. That's because India Ari, like, it comes off like y'all be bitter, especially when older artists come out and say stuff like this about the young artists, like the way people going at Sexy Red, the people going at Sukihana and other girls that do certain things like that, and they're so out with their sexuality and all of that. Yeah, it may be a shock for some people. It may not be for everybody, but again, this is why people fought to have this non-censorship. Okay, we're not trying to censor people. We're not trying to be put in a box. And that means that if this doesn't float your boat, I'm pretty sure something else can. So why don't you go gravitate towards that? You didn't have to sit there and watch it. And if it bothered you that bad, you didn't have to write this comment. You could have just kept on scrolling. Okay, you could have kept on scrolling, because you saying all of that to say, I do love Meg and I do love Janelle. So what's the fuck? Mind you, you put out a fucking song that said basically, do not judge women for what they have on and what they do. But that's exactly what you're doing. Girl, the hypocrisy that's been going on. This is funny. Child. Anyway, moving on from that. I ain't even finna get deep into it, because at this point, I'm just... Y'all notice I kind of skipped it. The whole thing with the affirmative action shit, I'm just so politically just drained. I'm tired of talking about politics. I'm tired of seeing it. I just don't understand at this point what would make anybody just want to go into politics, because I really feel like that's probably one of the most stressful jobs at this point. I just don't like to argue. I don't like to go back and forth with people. I don't like to have to debate my opinion. I don't like to have to do all that, because in my mind, whatever I said is what I said, and I don't give a fuck how you feel. And I just don't want to hear what you got to say when I'm saying how I feel about a certain matter. You know what I'm saying? And it's just, ever since 2016 or for that 2016 election, for me, stuff just been really, really irritating on the political scene. And I just can't, when they did the Roe versus Wade and they overturned that, people were saying, just get ready, because they're about to start overturning a whole bunch of stuff. Okay, they're gonna be coming after. They done came after women's rights. They're gonna be coming after minorities and people of color. They're gonna be coming after the LGBT, and then that's exactly what they're doing. All right. A lot of these conservatives, these Republicans, they want to get in office so that they can overturn a whole bunch of shit. And it's because at this point, and I know people want to try to blame Biden. It's not Biden's fault. Biden can veto stuff. Biden can look at stuff or whatever and pass a bill to try to stop things or whatever. But if the House of Representatives or if the Senate, Congress says no to that and vetoes that, he can't do nothing about it. He can just try to pass it. It has to pass in the House and the Senate. And if they can't get past that, then it's not on him, it's on them. So you be mad at the fucking Senate and the House of Representatives. You be mad at fucking Congress, bitch. That's who you be mad at. And this ain't even me taking up for Biden, because Lord knows. Lord knows. Anyway, it's just like, it's just a mess. And this whole situation about the affirmative action being overturned and taken away and banned in colleges and stuff like that for admission, it's not surprising at all. It's not surprising at all. You know, like I said, the Roe versus Wade was an indicator that change is about to come for the worse. And you could be for affirmative action, you can be not for affirmative action. That's your choice. But at the end of the day, I just feel like the people that's whooping and hollering and all the way here for it being gone, some of y'all was the ones that was actually benefiting from it. And I hate the fact that it has been turned, a lot of things have been turned to make it seem as if, oh, this is for making it easier for black folks to do this and to get access to this and to get access to that, when in reality it's not. It's just like with the welfare system, when they try to make it seem like black folks is the #1 people that's on welfare when it's actually white folks. You know what I'm saying? Same thing with affirmative actions. The main people that actually benefited from affirmative actions, white women. All right? So you got that going on. And as soon as I seen that story pop up about the whole Asian guy who could not get into one of these Ivy League schools because he believed it got sent to one of the a black student or whatever, and I'm just sitting here like, why would you think that? Out of all of the possibilities and all of the people that's there, hold on one second. One second, y'all. I'm sorry. My mama texted me. Anyway, as soon as I saw that whole situation about the Asian guy, like I said, you automatically think that your spot went to a black person, and of course, you blame affirmative action, right? You blame affirmative action and all that. When in these Ivy League schools that a lot of people try to get into, these super smart people that they claim they are, try to get into, a lot of the kids there are legacy kids. And if you don't know what that means, it's like nepotism. Like, bitch, I had somebody that went there, so therefore you gonna get in and you gonna get in and you gonna get in. Your bloodline, that's just the family school, okay? You got rich people that's gonna get in, you know, some of them probably buy their way in and all that stuff or whatever, you know, but you automatically think that affirmative action only works for black people. No, it really benefits white women in the way, and when that case came out, if you did not realize and understand how, you know, when black people say they don't like calling themselves, calling themselves people of color, because a lot of people of color do not fuck with black folks at all. This is what we're talking about. We just like to call ourselves black, okay? Now let's get the definition of affirmative action, what this bill was. Okay. That ain't what it is. Girl, I'm just all a mess. I'm just tired of this. Girl, affirmative action, also known as, affirmative action, also known as positive action, positive discrimination, involves a set of policies and practices within a government or organization seeking to include particular groups that were historically discriminated against based on their gender, race, sexuality, creed, and nationality in areas which such groups are underrepresented, such as in education and employment. Historically and internationally, support for affirmative action has sought to achieve goals such as bridging inequalities in employment and pay, increasing access to education, promoting diversity, and redressing wrongs, harms, and hindrance. And it just bothers me that, I've seen like accounts. It's a lot of Asian folks, unfortunately, that's just all up in arms and so happy that affirmative action is gone when this was helping benefit you. And I just hate the notion that when people think of affirmative action, that it always be targeted towards black folks. And it's a negative, saying that we're the only ones that's benefiting from it. When in reality, a lot of people benefit from it. And even if you're not white, and even if you're not black, or if you're not a person of color, you still benefit from it. If you're a woman, you benefit from it. Okay? And it's sad that something like this has to be put in place just for people to get a chance that already deserve that chance. All right? And I seen something today where they say, like, now this gonna make it try, some conservatives or whatever Republicans finna try to go after diversity, diversity scholarships and stuff like that. Baby, they're trying to tear down everything. They trying to tear down everything because they just wanted to go back to Jim Crow South. They want to go back to pre-Civil War, pre-Reconstruction, baby. They just want to go back to when everything was just white only. All right, that next thing you know, it's gonna go back to that. And I just hate the way that everything is going. And I'm just tired of it, y'all. Cause next thing, they trying to say, like, they're about to make it so that it's okay for places to discriminate against the LGBT, and I just don't understand the hate. You're getting money. You're literally getting money. Who don't want the money? And that's my issue. Why would you not want the money to let your business grow? Who the fuck cares who getting it? Money is money, especially in this economy, and you got time to be hating when you need to pay your bills and you need that person to pay your bills. Girl, I just don't get it. I'm tired, y'all. We are literally living, and I know people say this all the time, but it just feel like it more and more these days. We are going backwards, and we are living in the last days. That's just how I feel. And so I just suggest everybody just live it up and do what you got to do, okay? Because at this point, we just don't know what the fuck tomorrow going to bring. Now, bitch, it is raining. How y'all still popping fucking fireworks? Baby, they was popping fireworks after 4 o'clock in the morning. Why? That shit wasn't even on July 4th. It was on July 5th, bitch. Why y'all still doing this? I cannot stand it. Anyway, moving on from that. Y'all remember Bill de Blasio and his wife, Charlene? Girl, my grandma named Charlene, but it spelled differently from hers. I said, oh shit, you got a Charlene. And even if I didn't know that he was married to a black woman, I would have known right then and there, okay? Because the only Charlenes that I know, they are black women, all right? And my grandmother's one of them. Basically, they getting a divorce. Well, they not getting a divorce. Let me clear that up. They've been together. How many years they been together? It don't matter. They've been together over 20 years, and let's just say this. They are separating, okay? But they said they are never getting divorced, and I just don't understand that. Why are we separate? They said we're going to be dating other people. We're going to be living in the same place for the time being, but we never going to get a divorce yet. And I said, are you serious? What is with these couples being like, I'm gonna stay with this person. Like, we get a divorce or we separated, but we still gonna be living in the same houses, especially the ones that you know have different residences that they can go to. Like, no, we the people, we regular folks, we up here, we'll probably do that because we ain't got nowhere else to go if we ain't got no friends that's gonna or family that's gonna put us up. But y'all got places and y'all literally finna be staying together, and y'all not finna do it for the kids, okay? And then to say that they finna just keep on, you know, they not gonna get divorced. What? Mind you, I did not know his wife used to be a lesbian. He did an article or something on her in 1994. That's how they met, and she was an out and proud lesbian, okay? And next thing you know, she started fucking that white man, all right? And he was like, you know what? In the back of my mind, I was just a little uneasy because I was thinking like, damn, I hope I won't regret this because, you know, she was a hardcore, you know, lesbian or whatever. And I said, look, it took 20 plus years, and she came to her sisters and said, I don't want the dick no more. That is crazy, y'all. Would y'all do that? Would y'all do that? If I'm getting a divorce and I'm saying, bitch, I gotta get a divorce. I gotta get a divorce. Okay, I have to get a divorce. No, and I do not want to stay in the house with you. I will go, baby, where's the Airbnb? I know the economy for the Airbnb is going down and it's fucked up. Where is the hotel? Okay, let me get to start looking to see if I can put a down payment on this shit so we can sell this shit that we got and I can go my separate ways, because baby, I am not staying with you. If we get a divorce, I want to see your ass. I don't even want to know that your presence is even near me, because you, as soon as I breathe, I can know that I'm breathing the same as you, because we literally in the same house, and that's gonna make me mad. It's probably gonna make me come up there and slap your ass. But anyway, no, I am not violent like that, but I'm just saying, y'all get it. Meanwhile, we got this situation going on with the Recording Academy, aka the Grammys. Now, they came out and said, you know, AI stuff will be getting, like, they had to clarify when they said that they was going to be giving Grammy nominations and Grammys to AI situations. And what they meant by that is, if a song or something was produced by a AI tools or whatever, but it's an actual person that's singing it and performing it, that real person will get the nomination for being the singer, but the AI being the producer will never get that nomination, right? And so vice versa. If it's the producer or the AI that's doing the singing, they will not get nominated. The AI can't get nominated. That part won't get nominated, but the actual producing team that put it together, they can get nominated. The songwriting team, they can get nominated. Baby, at this point, it's all complicated. AI is coming in and just fucking the shit up, okay, in my opinion. You know, it's just making people like me just like, girl, what is going on? Because this is a little bit too much, okay? And I'm just sitting here like, just scrap the shit. If it got AI in it anywhere, any place, baby, just say, no, you can't do it, all right? It's a little bit much. It's scary to me. It really is. Some Real Housewives of Atlanta news, okay? Eva's ex-husband or soon-to-be ex-husband, baby, he getting sued. He getting sued for causing this car accident back in 2022 when he got into this car accident with this guy and this girl, Cody Clark and Lauren Hannett. Basically, crashed into their car. They got injured. They got hurt. Had some medical bills and stuff like that. And he got off. Now, they said that he was driving under the influence. And see, when a police officer and all that had arrested him and gave him the breathalyzer, or not necessarily, they didn't even give him a breathalyzer, I don't believe. They just knew, or they just was like, they didn't smell alcohol on his breath. He was able to pass all the tests, you know, that they do to see if you coherent and all that stuff. And he passed it with flying colors. But they trying to say that, you know, he was under some type of influence. And I'm sitting here like, some people are functioning alcoholics. And just because you won't smell nothing, it don't mean that it was actually alcohol that was in their system that caused them to go out of control. Or it could be the fact that he just randomly got into a car accident. It just happens sometimes. But at the end of the day, if you caused it, Mr. Michael, you need to go ahead and pay up. You hurt these people, and that's just what it is. Meanwhile, we got this. I'm so tired of Kim and Croy. I'm so tired of Kim and Kroy. Y'all heard that shit about Nene talking about some. She tried to reach out to Kim to see how she doing with this divorce situation. It is so crazy how you literally bring her up as a example of how Bravo is racist, and now you want to come and be her friend or make it seem like you're okay with her, and you'll, girl, get the hell up out of here. Nene is full of shit. Then talk about something. She'll come back if the fans will want her to. Nobody wants you to. Well, they do want you. I ain't gonna lie about that. They want you, but you ain't coming because Andy already said the door's closed. And it is what it is. I just need people to just move on from it. You know what I'm saying? Just move on past that. It is what it is. But Kroy, he getting sued. Kim getting sued by Target. Let me tell you how lost I was when I read this article, okay? What's her name? Kim opened up a Target credit card. I said, Target got credit cards? This how you know I'm new to shopping at Target, okay? I'm becoming a Target girl. But I said, wait a minute. Target got credit cards? Target National Bank. I said, what the fuck? Girl, she opened up a line of credit back in a couple of years ago or whatever. The last payment that she ever paid on it was like in 2022. And she was supposed to pay like $500 a month. The last time that she paid on it, it was in 2022. They like, girl, we want our goddamn money and we gonna get the interest that's owed as well. Do you know how much it is? Girl, it's less than $3,000. It's less than $2,500. I said, Kim, I can give that to you if you want me to. You want me to? You need help. I said, I'd be mad if y'all put my business out there saying that I owe $2,000, bitch. Girl, be quiet. Just give me the notice and I'll put a little bit on it, okay? Like, come on, stop it. Stop it. You ain't got to do that. I'm already floundering in debt, okay? Now you want to add more bills. And then Kroy went out there to gamble in the Bahamas or some shit and took out a line of credit. Took out like $100,000 worth of credit, whatever, to do the gambling at the casino. And this motherfucker didn't pay it back. I think he lost like $52,000 or whatever. They want the money back. They want the $52,000, okay? And they is suing his ass. I said, God damn. Baby, I know who not to trust with my finances or whatever. Truth be told, somebody needs to just go through all of their freaking, needs to go through all of their stuff because ain't no way in hell I just feel like they probably owe more to the IRS than what is happening because, child, what? How is it that y'all are both in debt? And then at one point, it was Kroy trying to make it seem as if it was just Kim's gambling. But look at you. You getting sued left and right because you are taking out money from this place and that place. Oh, it's just a mess. Oh, Meanwhile, let's talk about the White House for 1 second again, since we were talking about it earlier with this affirmative action situation. Girl, they found some little cocaine up there at the White House. I said, y'all up there sniffing. Baby, ain't nobody shocked. Ain't nobody shocked. Like, y'all seen Power. I know y'all seen this last season of Power Book 2, Ghost, where they was all up in that Wall Street, Western Holding, just sniffing and doing all that stuff. Girl, if they doing it up in Wall Street, you know damn well they doing it up at the White House, okay? Come on. How do these people get through the day with all the shit that they got to go through? Baby, you can't tell me they ain't got a little pick me up, not a bring me down, bitch. Girl, I said, is Hunter up there? Or is he in jail yet? Because it could be his shit. You just don't know. You know, and I'm just sitting here like, why is this news? Why is this news? I'm pretty sure you can go out there to half the people that working on Capitol Hill and look in their car and they probably got a little something in the glove department. It is what it is, okay? Moving on from that. Coi Leray. Coi Leray, she tried to come out and be like she did when she first had her first album come out, and act as if she's happy about the way that it did. And I honestly feel like, I don't know if she's actually, feeling what she tweets about happy that her album made the top 200 Billboard, or she's just trying to save face because it didn't really do well. They said the album sold only 10,000 copies or something like that. It came in at number 102. And mind you, I didn't even know that she had an album coming out. I was like, where's the promotion? And see, that's the problem. People want to get mad, and I don't like when people gang up on people and people become so much about numbers these days when it comes to these albums coming out, for artists in general. The only one that I really didn't give a damn about was Latasha Scott, because we already knew that shit was gonna flop, and that was just a situation. That was an exceptional case. But in general, I really do not like when people be so quick to be like, oh, you only sold this in the first week, oh, you this and you flopped and all this stuff and woo woo woo. And it's so many factors that goes into it, and I just don't understand why people think certain artists will actually get these big numbers or expect them to get big numbers, because unfortunately it's just you just know that they're not. You know what I'm saying? And it's so many factors into the way that a lot of albums have been selling these days. Back in the day, if we were like in the early 2000s, even mid 2000s, and back on, an album comes out, a Coi Leray, any of these new girls that's coming out or whatever, the album easily could have did over 100,000. The album could have easily did over 200,000 in the first week. You know what I'm saying? And we just not really getting those numbers these days because of the way the industry has changed, the way that streaming has changed, all of that. It's just a difference, okay? It's so much harder to get sales, because people not actually buying the albums, and now you have to go by streams, okay? And it takes so many streams to equal one album or whatever. And I honestly feel like it's more difficult for people to sell these days, and that's why they go independent. And I'm just not gonna hate on a person because they sold 10,000 copies. The fact that she was able to put out another album, that's congratulatory to me, okay? Because I would have gave up after the first bitch. I would have been so mad that y'all came at me because it didn't sell. And I would have just been like, fuck this shit, that you won. But she resilient. And that's what I do like about Coi Leray. And I'm going to be honest. Also, let's get real. Marketing ain't what it used to be. A&R ain't what it used to be. At this point, I don't even know what's the point of A&R these days, okay? Because y'all not doing these artists a service, okay? You're actually doing them a disservice. A lot of these artists are better off promoting their own stuff, and taking care of their own business instead of and just cutting out the middleman of the A&R and all that shit. Because at this point, y'all not doing it. You know what I'm saying? I don't see. Back in the day, baby, you used to see billboards. You used to see billboards of an artist. That's how you knew who was going to come out. You knew who was going to come out because you saw the billboards everywhere. You saw the commercials and all of that stuff on the TVs, all that. You saw them in the magazines and everything. We don't get promotion like that no more. Yeah, we got streaming. Yeah, we got Twitter. Yeah, we got social media and all that stuff, whatever. But everybody's not on the same site. A lot of people look at the same. A lot of black folks look at the same shit. A lot of people gonna be outside and we gonna see the billboards, what's going on. People don't want to spend that type of money no more. They just don't want to invest in these artists no more, and it's just really, really sad, because there are some good artists that should have been way further than what they are, but they just don't have the right people behind them putting forth the correct effort, But I'm gonna have to listen to the album, because I'm gonna be honest, I did not even know she had an album out. I just thought she had that one song out, and that was it. The players, because girls can be players too, That's it. And that was big on TikTok. And that just goes to show, just because you big on TikTok or you put a song out on TikTok or Instagram and it go viral and all that stuff, whatever, that does not mean that your album is going to sell. That does not mean that your single is going to sell. That just means that that's just the trend for that particular social media thing for that moment, okay? It is what it is, and that's just how it's going to be. Congratulations to Jay-Z mama, Gloria Carter. Mama said, I ain't gave birth to my kids. I ain't living in the closet no more. I got my woman by my side, and now she my wife. So congratulations to Gloria Carter and her wife, Roxanne Carter. They got married a couple of days ago, and I remember when we did find out that his mother was a lesbian. He did put it on his 444 album, on the song "Smile," and I think she was on the song, and I really did like that. And he was happy that his mama was able to live her life, because she had to be in a closet for the majority of her life. She had to go and endure being with men, and in relationship with a man and having kids. Well, she probably wanted the kids because that's why she had them, but she wasn't being her true self by being who she really wanted to be with, which was a woman. And that's just how it was back in the day. Girl, homosexuality or just being who you are and being free to love who you love, that's legal and consensual, it just wasn't around back then. So speaking of that, on HBO Max, it's a I don't know if y'all know, but see, I'm a movie head too. It is a documentary that just came out about Rock Hudson, and the way that he was built up to be this heterosexual heartthrob of a movie star from back in the 1950s on up, and the fact that he was actually a homosexual. He was gay. And some people knew, some people didn't. And the fact that he was able to keep that secret in Hollywood all the way up until he had to announce that he was sick with AIDS is amazing. It's amazing, okay? But it's really, really good. Really, really good, because it just shows the struggle that people had to go through back then. Like, really. That's why I'm all... and I know some people probably getting their feel away or whatever when I keep on talking about let people do what they want to do and all this stuff and woo, and quit policing this and quit policing that, because I'm just a proponent for people to live the way that they want to live without so much restriction, because given the way that a few of us have been brought up and had to go through, we were living restrictive lives. So now we want people to just be who they are. And that's just where that's coming from. I grew up in a restrictive ass religious / cult. Okay? I grew up in that. I realized that that's what it was now. You know what I'm saying? At my big age, I realized that's what it was. You know what I'm saying? I was also closeted, so I get it. It is what it is. Moving on from that. So congratulations, Miss Corda. Miss Corda. Kevin Spacey. Baby, put Kevin Spacey in jail. Put Kevin Spacey in jail for the simple fact that he ruined House of Cards, okay? The show was so goddamn good. That was one of my first shows that I can ever remember that I just binge watched, and I could not fucking wait until it came on when it got on Netflix, okay? That was one of my first Netflix shows that I was just hooked on, all right? Then I think it was Orange is the New Black. But yes, and then he fucked it up by these charges coming out here about him being a fucking sexual predator, to these young boys. And now this other witness, they doing a trial against his ass, basically saying that, he was told, a lot of the young cute boys were saying, people was telling them, do not fuck with Kevin Spacey because he a goddamn creep, And I said, wow. Listen, it's all the same fucking story. And he keeps slipping through, but he done fucked up his reputation so bad. Like, I just don't think that he'll get any type of respect back, because it's just too much. Because as soon as one allegation goes away, another allegation comes through, and some of the stories are similar, some of them are different, but they all involve the fact that he tried to either assaulted them, or he tried to, or he did even further. And I just think that is just fucked up. Just disgusting. Highly fucking weird. Some more Real Housewives news. We got the whole situation with Kyle and Mauricio. Now listen, y'all watch the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, baby. I've been watching it since day one. I think I done seen the only parts that I have not seen from season 1 is the Real Housewives of Orange County. And I think Real Housewives, let me get my words right. Real Housewives of Orange County. And I feel like that was the start of the Real Housewives with the Real Housewives of Orange County, because I think they on season 17 or something like that shit, bitch. They up there. And then came the Real Housewives of Atlanta, and I think then came Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, or Real Housewives of New Jersey. No, Beverly Hills and then New Jersey. or New Jersey, then Beverly Hills. Either way, one of those. Y'all remember Real Housewives of DC? Oh my goodness. I would rather them bring that back. They need to bring that back. Y'all can get rid of Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. I seen somebody tweet that, it's time to admit that Real Housewives of Salt Lake City ain't really that girl. And it's really not. It's actually boring as shit. Okay, it's like the most boringest. Y'all want to talk about Real Housewives of Atlanta being boring and not having nothing going on, but yet y'all watch Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, and I just don't understand. I watch it too, but I just don't understand how people can go up for it, because when I tell you nothing happens on that show, nothing has happened on that show for 3 seasons that it's been out, the 2 or 3 seasons that it's been out. Nothing has happened. I'm just telling you, even with the Jen Shaw situation, nothing has happened because everything played out off screen, and so it was quite boring. Bring back Real Housewives of Dallas. At least they had some shit to go off on when that bitch was being racist as hell. When Cameron was being racist to Tiffany, bitch, we could have had some good ass drama with that. I never forget when Leanne, baby, listen, we don't want to give certain people platforms, but at the same time, if it made good drama, it made good drama. When Leanne told old girl, I can't remember her name, but the girl that's from Mexico, like she's of Mexican descent, she said, how would I know what she's saying? I don't speak Mexican. I said, what the fuck, bitch? I said, oh my God, Leanne was a fucking mess, bitch. Okay, but she was funny. I ain't even gonna lie, because it was one of those funny where you like, I cannot believe this bitch just said that. That's what make you laugh, because it's not that you laughing in agreement. You just laughing like, oh, did she just say that? In disbelief. That's just how Leanne was, okay? But, too bad they canceled that. It was cute for what it was. I enjoyed it for the most part. But DC got canceled because, again, the other Shaw, I think their names was Shaw too, when they got their way up into the that party at the White House to see Obama, and they was all up in Obama face and everything. Somehow they snuck up in there. They weren't even on the list, bitch. And they cut that thing off after that. I felt for the black couple that was on there. I said, oh, damn. I wanted to see. Don't nobody even talk about y'all. Don't nobody even remember y'all name. They just remember the couple that went up into the White House. I feel for y'all, because y'all get the shit end of the stick, meaning that it's forgotten, okay? But Real Housewives of Beverly Hills been there since the beginning, since Adrienne Maloof was on there. And when I tell you, oh, bitch, y'all want to talk about, this is what I'm telling y'all. Y'all got to watch this shit. Y'all really do. Do your homework. That's what I'm gonna get y'all. Give y'all a little bit of homework. It's the summertime. Ain't really shit coming on TV. Y'all get on Peacock, okay? Some of y'all like cock. I don't like it. But get on Peacock, because that's where all the Real Housewives is at. And look at Real Housewives from Beverly Hills from the beginning. Also go back and look at the Real Housewives of OC. I was going to go and watch it from the beginning because I did not look at probably the first 2 seasons. I came in probably around season 3. Either fucking way, I'm hooked to the shit. But Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, if you want to talk about opulence and you want to talk about wealth in the fucking beginning, Adrienne Maloof alone, her fucking home, oh my God. Oh my God, because I think her family owned some casinos or some other shit that was going on. Plus her husband was this renowned plastic surgeon. He the one that be with Heather Dubrow husband that do Botch on the TV show Botch. His partner on that show. Oh girl, they be getting it in with the surgeons and all that shit. So I know he be making money. They had money. Everybody had real fucking businesses that was making them millions and shit, okay? Everybody know about Lisa Vanderpump and all that shit or whatever. Kyle and Mauricio, Kyle come from the Hilton background. Well, not necessarily background, because Kathy is the one that's married to a Hilton, but they all in the same fucking circle. And then Mauricio got his own freaking superstar real estate business going on. He got his show Selling Beverly Hills on Netflix that's coming back for season 2, which should be quite interesting now because the first season wasn't really that good. But now I feel like they're gonna have something to talk about because the news then came out saying that Kyle and Mauricio are separating, right? And then all of a sudden they want to come back and say, hell no, we not separating. I mean, we done had some hard times this year. But girl, we not separating. We're gonna be working out and working for our family. We're gonna keep this unit together. I said, that's what Chris and Monique said. When People Magazine put it out there that they was getting a divorce, they want to come out, or I should say Monique forced Chris to sit there and do that video and lie and say that they was not getting a divorce or they weren't gonna be separating. Only a few months later to come out and say, bitch, we getting a divorce. Fuck the separation. Okay? We did the separation part, now we getting a divorce, okay? And I feel like that is exactly what's going to happen with Kyle and Mauricio because, again, people came out and said that they getting separated. And they was like, the people coming out there talking about son, we getting a divorce. First of all, nobody said you was getting divorced. They said you was separated and that y'all was still staying in the same house. Again, I just don't understand that. If I'm separated from you, get the fuck out. And I know y'all can afford different places, okay? Y'all got money, you know? But no, they was like, at one point, Kyle was walking around without her ring and everything. Y'all got to go back to that season on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills when the psychic came on there. And she said, basically, this your second marriage. Y'all going to wind up getting a divorce, especially when the kids get grown, because y'all ain't going to have shit else to talk about. I said, ooh. Gagged her ass while smoking an e-cigarette. I said, ooh. All right. Now, you know what? I want to feel bad for Cal, but Cal got on my nerves the last season of Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. She started a lot of shit, and she hid her hand, and nobody really came in her ass like that. And I think Garcelle tried to, and it just, I just didn't like her last season. She was just really irritating. But I just feel like it's a wait and see. It's a wait and see type of situation where it's gonna come out, and I'm not here trying to be like, oh, I want people to get a divorce, because I didn't even know they was having issues, and I didn't think that they was gonna get divorced, so I'm a little bit shocked. And as soon as that news come out, then all of a sudden they was like, girl, she talking to this person, and she having an emotional affair with this country singer, Morgan Wade or whatever. I said, who the fuck is Morgan Wade? Some girl. I said, oh, she talking over here. Let me tell you something. It is not hard. It is not hard to fall for a woman if you are a woman. Because, again, I'm going to tell you why. Women in our friendships with other women, you see how expressive we can be with other women. We can be touchy-feely with other women. We listen to each other. We know how emotional we can be and how sensitive sometimes we can be. And we can be in touch with our feelings or whatever. And we can be doing all of that with each other. We can be a safe place for each other. You know what I'm saying? We don't have to hide our feelings. We don't have to put up walls and all that stuff. And so you got all of that. That's just how some women or most women are wired. So, yeah, you doing all that and you liking somebody. Like, it's not hard for a woman to emotionally have something going on or for you to be like, wait a minute, I'm 100% straight, but why do I feel a little different? And it's if it happened to you, it's a natural thing and there's nothing wrong with you and it's understandable. It's just that women are just more in tune with each other. That's just it. You know, we kiss each other, we hit each other on the ass and all that shit. We'll sleep in the same bed, but won't have nothing sexual, but we'll have an emotional connection with each other. And that is fine. I feel like they really did have an emotional affair, if it's true. They were talking about matching rings, matching tattoos and all that shit. I said, now y'all going a little bit too far. I said, oh, Cal, you really, if this is true, you really fell down the lesbian hole, okay? Next thing you know, I'm surprised you ain't in the U-Haul truck yet. Already packed up and at her door, okay? Because you know how lesbians be. We'll move in a second. But we're going to keep our eye on that. I really hope they don't break up. You know, Mauricio got on my nerves last season, too. I was side-eyeing him because of the way that he was acting towards Garcelle's son, the little 14-year-old son, and he tried to backtrack that shit, and I just really wasn't feeling him ever since then. But, you know, I don't want them to break up. I really don't. Any more Real Housewives news. Phaedra Parks, I seen some people that was feeling some type of way about this, and I see absolutely nothing wrong with it. Phaedra Parks gave her 13-year-old son $150,000 for his birthday. She said, "What do you want for your birthday?" He said he either wanted some money or he wanted a dirt bike. And she said, "Listen, girl, listen, boy, we ain't getting you no dirt bike because you ain't finna kill yourself or whatever, but I'll give you the money." And he liked the real estate stuff, so it's to help him build up his portfolio. She said her kids are into like cryptocurrency or whatever. Baby, she is raising baby geniuses over there, kid geniuses over there, okay? And she started them young. And not only is she starting them young, this is because they're interested in it. And she was like, they trying to figure out whether he want to invest into a piece of property, a duplex or whatever. And my whole thing is, why are there people that feel like this is too much money to be given a kid? Like, she's not literally putting it in his hands. I'm pretty sure it's going to be in a separate bank account that's marked for business or whatever. And this is how we keep on talking about generational wealth and, you know, legacy and all this shit and, you know, passing stuff down. This is how you do that so that we can get and keep on strengthening the black family. It's okay when white people do that to their kids. Don't nobody have a problem with that because they do it all the time. But then when a black person do it with their kids and give them a large sum of money to help them get started or whatever and invest and all that stuff, it's an issue because they didn't get it out the mud, but it was given to them. Baby, I'm tired of, we tired of getting it out the mud. We shouldn't always have to be the one that's getting it out the mud, okay? We shouldn't be always the one that have to get it, start from the bottom to the top. Now we here, okay? Like, if somebody gonna give me some little money, I'll take that shit. If somebody would have invested in me as a kid, oh, hell yeah. I'd be like, yeah, my mama helped me, you know, she gave me this amount of money and now I'm here where I am. I flipped that shit and made it more. Okay, like, Phaedra, do your thing. I see absolutely nothing wrong with that. Michael Jordan is not here for Larsa and Marcus Jordan being with each other. TMZ asked him that and he said no. Mind you, she said that the family was cool with it. I said, yo, lying ass, we already knew that. I just can't believe they still together and I just don't get it. But, you know, Larsa and her type is just not my cup of tea, but there's that. Beyonce and Kelly Rowland, they're about to open up a housing. They're doing a housing project for the homeless out there in Houston. How much it's gonna be? Multi-million-dollar housing union for the homeless. That's gonna be helping out with transportation, mental health stuff, physical and behavioral health support to those who need it. So shout out to them. And they said that they've been doing stuff like this, you know, helping out the community down there in Houston. I'm here for all of that. Congratulations. Oh, I heard about the shit that's been happening with the Renaissance tour. Now, girl, let me wake up and find out Soldier Field finna be an asshole. Baby, I'ma just say this. Y'all better get y'all shit together. Now, why the hell would you book an artist when you know that your stadium, not your arena, your stadium ain't gonna be able to fit them? That's exactly what's happening to the stop out there in Pittsburgh for the Renaissance tour. I feel sorry for y'all because y'all show got canceled. And I feel sorry for everybody who done brought the ticket, who done brought hotels and plane tickets and all that shit. And it ain't Beyonce's fault. It is not her fault. It is the stadium fault. Same thing with the other two stadiums that I think in Kansas City and somewhere else. Y'all got a little bit postponed for the same reason. Why the fuck would you book her? Did y'all not book her for the Formation tour? Maybe because she had that, but she had that big ass cube. She didn't really, like, what? So if y'all had, I just don't understand it. And I looked at the stadium and I'm like, well, why can't you accommodate it? Something else deeper is going on with that. I'm not finna dig too much, but that's on them. It ain't on Beyonce. I just want y'all to know, and I feel sorry for anybody that got caught up in that. Robert De Niro's 19-year-old son, grandson died. They found him dead up in a, they said a lavish apartment or something. Sorry for that. I just, you know, that's really sad though. Kids dying young, kids dying before their grandparents, kids dying before their mama, and he looked exactly like his mama. Wow. That's unfortunate. They didn't put a cause of death, but rest in peace and condolences to them. Walgreens is closing down 150 U.S. locations and 300 or more United Kingdom locations, all because of the shit that happened during COVID, and they was out here giving out free testing and everything, and they had to eat that cost and all that shit. Baby, let me just tell you this. Y'all close down whatever y'all need to close down. Just don't close down the one that's right next to my job, because I be up in that bitch just about every day, and I need to go there, okay? So there's that. I'm just gonna say, you gotta do what you gotta do for your bottom line. Just keep the one next to my job open, okay? Because I live by that. You know, it is what it is. I get my household shopping done at Walgreens sometimes. I get a little bit of food shopping because, you know, I'm gonna be honest with y'all, I barely eat during the week when I'm home. Unless I have a day off, that's the only time where I actually cook something when I'm here. Okay, but other than that, I won't really cook anything, and I'll probably just heat up something like a toast, a cheese toast, or a little burrito that I got up in the refrigerator, you know, frozen burrito or whatever, one of them little turkey sausage burritos and all that stuff. That's what I do. Girl, I really be living like a fucking bachelor. Like, girl, I just don't know. I just don't be hungry when I come back from work because I have late lunches, and it's just be like, girl, I'm not gonna force myself to eat when I'm not really hungry. That's when I get into the situation the way I look now, you know what I'm saying? But bitch, I'm slimming down. All right. Anyway, moving on from that, baby, y'all heard about the shit that's happening over there in Paris. Baby, Paris is on fire, bitch. Okay, they tried to assassinate the goddamn, they tried to take out the mayor in this particular city where this 17-year-old Algerian boy got killed by the cop. Okay, and ever since that happened, baby, they has been going haywire. And they was trying to get up into that man's house and to take him out. Mind you, his kids and his wife was up in the house asleep. I said, ooh, this is crazy. See, they get a whole bunch of national attention when it happened over here. And we get looked at as, you know, oh, you shouldn't do this and you shouldn't do that. But, you know, shit like that happen in other countries and they always wait here for it. Ain't that some shit? Anyway, moving on from that, sad news also, and I cannot wait for the new seasons to come out on. 1,000 Pound Sisters, Tammy. First of all, shout out to Tammy for finally losing that weight, okay? I think she down like 300 pounds or so, or a little bit over 300 pounds or whatever. She looked better. Like, she looked very much smaller than what she was. She's walking on her own. I don't even think she got to use the oxygen tank no more like she used to. But y'all remember, she got married to that boy Caleb that was in the same rehab facility for the weight loss stuff. When on the last season, yeah, him. And he wound up passing away. I believe, last week or whatever, at the end of last week or the weekend. He was 40 years old, and they didn't put out there what he passed away from, but I'm pretty sure we all know what it was. It was because he wasn't taking care of himself. He was already extremely overweight. And, you know, him and Tammy towards the end were having issues, and I think she was about to get a divorce from him, or they were separated or whatever, because he was not following the diet, you know, trying to get himself together. And that's my thing. Don't get married or start fucking with somebody when you know they ain't on the same wavelength as you. You trying to get yourself together, and yet you sitting over here just letting your life just wither away. I think that is so selfish. And you know what? I don't want to speak ill of the dead, but I really did not vibe with him because he was creepy. That man, no shade. I mean, he gone. Can't really do nothing now. He couldn't really do nothing then either. I'm just saying. He found out the facility that Tammy was in and wound up having himself booked into that facility just so he can get close to Tammy. So basically, he was stalking her. And then wound up marrying her. And they only started talking on that level for a month, and after that, they got married. But may he rest in peace. Anyway, moving on from there, Peter fucking Thomas. Okay? I just want Peter Thomas to just stop doing business. Maybe he just needs to work for somebody and just not try to have people work for him. Okay? Because it just does not seem to be working. I'm going to just read to you what it said. According to court documents obtained by Radar Online, Bar One Miami Beach, which Peter has ran since 2019, was hit with a lawsuit by Bentley Bay Realty Retail LLC. In a complaint, Bentley Bay Retail said it is the landlord of the property where Bar One is located. Per the filing, the company said it entered into a commercial lease agreement with Thomas in 2018. The company said Thomas was previously sued for eviction over unpaid payments. However, the parties worked out a deal in 2020 where Bailey's ex-husband, because you know they had to put it out there that he's married to Cynthia Bailey at one point, agreed to pay any outstanding debts. A copy of the settlement shows that Bar One agreed to pay $270,000 to resolve all of the issues. Per the settlement, Bentley Bay Retail said Thomas Company agreed if any checks were returned for insufficient funds, the deal would be void and Bar One would have to leave. However, the company said Thomas submitted various payments that were returned for insufficient funds in July 22, August 22, September 22, October 22, and March 23. Bitch. What? That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 months. 5 months. Bentley Bay Retail said Thomas owes them $422,000 in rent, outstanding costs, utility charges, and sales taxes. The suit said that Thomas was notified in October 22 that he was in default. In a new lawsuit that is filed the same month, the company said that the case was delayed after Thomas began negotiation talks. And the company said that the negotiations were unsuccessful and that they want Bar One gone, okay? Immediately. They said previous reported that Thomas was sued personally in another recent lawsuit over another restaurant he planned to open. In 2022, Peter announced he was opening a new upscale supper club called One Society and planned to spend $3 million on the project. A company called DTS DT Retail sued One Society over unpaid rent. He argued the company had breached the lease, but failing to provide any adequate access to the location. The judge ended up siding with the landlord, and One Society had to hand over the keys. So basically, get your ass out. Let me tell you something. This is one thing, like, I would be scared going into business and opening up a brick and mortar shop or whatever, because sometimes these people, especially when you start it off, these people don't own it right away. You're literally leasing and you have to pay rent plus your own rent at home and all that stuff. And, you know, you got to make sure you got your business account together and your personal account together. And you got to be able to pay for all of that shit plus your employees. And you got to pay on time if you want to keep being in business, okay? And I just don't understand how a person like Peter Thomas, keeps getting these brick and mortar stores to open up restaurants and stuff like that. Baby, at this point, just sell a place from a food truck. just sell a place from a food truck, because you cannot deal with the day-to-day of having an actual fucking restaurant, all right? Because y'all remember when Bar One first came out, he was having troubles with that. I think the first location had closed down or they had to move it or whatever. It was an issue then with money, all right? And that was one of the main reasons. No, that was the main reason why Cynthia's family did not want her marrying Peter, because he was using her name probably and he was broke. And he was going to get them broke. You know, and look at what it is. And it just made me, as soon as I seen this, I'm sorry, I'm being a little petty, because as soon as I seen this and I realized that it's the Bar One location in Miami, wasn't the girls from Real Housewives of Potomac down there in Miami when all this shit happened last season, when Mia was going up so hard for Thomas, Peter Thomas, you know, trying to make it seem like, you know, Wendy was wrong for not doing this and Wendy was wrong for not doing that. No, Wendy was absolutely correct. And I'm so glad she did. First of all, I'm so glad I'm so mad, I should say, they entertained that storyline. This smart ass woman trying to even get any type of business advice from fucking Peter Thomas. Look at that. The restaurant you fought in about to get taken from underneath him, okay? And you up here throwing drinks on bitches just because they want to talk back to fucking Peter Thomas? Do business with Peter Thomas? And he can't even do business with himself correctly? Mind you, right before this came out, I saw a TikTok, and I was thinking about whether or not I was going to share it on Twitter, but I said, no, I want them problems. Somebody else finally did, where this lady, she came up into one of those locations for Bar One, or whichever restaurant it was, and she was like, bitch, I want my money. They owed her over $1,000. Okay, I think it was almost $1,500. She said, bitch, I want my motherfucking money. Okay, and this was at one of Peter's location, and he trying to make it seem like, you know, she was wrong and all this stuff, and what she was saying is lies. But then how can we believe you when we know that you have a history of not being financially stable when it comes to your businesses? Now you're getting convicted. Child, I would never. Get it together, Peter. It's okay to work for other people. Or it's okay to work online. You don't have to have a brick and mortar. You know what I'm saying? Get you a food truck, you know? Get you, sell some place outside your house. I don't know. Just, anyway, moving on from that, last thing I want to talk about, or is it the last thing? Congratulations is in order to, congratulations is in order to Naomi Campbell. She just had a second baby boy. She had a baby girl through surrogate last year. Now she has a baby boy through surrogate this year. And, you know, congratulations to mama. Let me tell you something. Shout out to all the surrogates, okay? Because Chrissy Teigen had a baby through surrogacy, and I think she already had a baby through pregnancy like a couple of months ago or so. Either freaking way. These surrogates is not, okay, these NDAs, ain't nobody cutting that, ain't nobody breaking them or whatever. They said, bitch, mum's the word. Whoop. Solid. Ain't saying nothing, because ain't nobody know nothing about Naomi having another baby. And I like it like that, okay? You know, everybody don't need to know your every move. So congratulations to her. Child, they said when Darius posted this, it was all giggles, and now that Usher was singing to Kiki, she suddenly needs to be a mom. Be for real. Mind you, it's the video of Kiki up in that leopard jumpsuit. What is it? Bodysuit, skin tight bodysuit, and she's shaking her ass and she twerking her ass and shit up in the mirror or whatever. You ain't had no problem then, but you had a problem when she getting sang to by Usher. Your little ego was just a little bruised bitch for what? I just don't understand, but it is. Moving on from there, let me see if there's something else I need to talk about before I hit up off of here. Ooh, did y'all see Juvenile's Tiny Desk? It was good. I was a little concerned as to how it was gonna be, right. But you know, with Tiny Desk, they do all of the instruments. Okay, I was a little like, oh, I was looking at the time and I said it's only 30 minutes. Can we get an hour or whatever? But for that little 30 minutes, baby, I had a time, okay? And somebody said, I will never forget what somebody said, Manny Fresh looked like these stud uncles that be out here. Stunkles that be out here. He literally looked like the studs that be in. And did that part especially, he played right. He would never beat those allegations, because at the end when they did back that ass up for the second time, I said, encore, and he gave it to us. And then Manny Fresh had turned the camera, the mic over to the crowd, and then he got into the crowd, and then when he got into the camera doing his verse, and he was doing all of this, so I think he ain't never been beating the stud allegations. And if y'all don't know what studs are masculine, black, lesbian women, okay? Technically speaking, I consider myself, people can probably consider me a stud. Like, I'm a soft stud, because I ain't so hardcore, bitch. I know I'm still a bitch. I'm a woman. All right, you know, suck my titties too. Anyway, it was a good time. I gotta watch the Babyface one. I saw that the Tank one was up, and I looked at the time. I said, now, is this the whole thing? It was less than 20 minutes. I said, I got some stuff to watch. I got some stuff to watch, and I feel like I be holding stuff so I can watch it at work, so I can make the time go by quicker. Cause I get home. As anybody else in this mode, I get home, or I'll just, if I got a day off or whatever, if I ain't got nothing to do, I ain't got no errands to run or whatever, I really don't want to watch TV. The other day, I was trying to find a movie to watch, and it took me a couple of hours just to scroll through just about every streaming service to see if I wanted to watch a movie that was on there, and I just didn't. I wound up putting on the Dateline podcast. I've been listening to them all day. Like, I don't know, TV ain't just, it ain't moving me these days. Oh, excuse me. Oh, excuse me. Y'all tell me how y'all feel. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for the interruption. My mama was texting me. I hope y'all get that. Girl, it's just been off a little bit. The rain threw me off as well, but I hope y'all had a beautiful day off, because that's what it was. I hope y'all ate some good food, because that's what we do. My chin is really good. Y'all remember when I was out here and this shit used to be down, y'all, and y'all ain't tell me, see, y'all good people, so y'all ain't want to say, Ashley, you okay? You look like you getting a little fat. And if somebody would have told me that, I really probably would have just cried on camera, because I knew it, but bitch was going through some shit, girl. I would have cried on camera, like, somebody said, bitch, do you not realize you getting better? Like, oh my God. Like, my face was so fucking round. Bitch, I'm Gucci now. I'm seeing through the fucking clouds. I mean, it's a whole bunch of them outside right about now, but hey, it is what it is. Y'all get the reference. I hope y'all enjoy the rest of y'all week. Stay fucking dry. Today was hell outside, because not only was it muggy, it was hot as shit. The humidity was hell. I came into work and I was sweating like a bitch. I just didn't understand it, okay? I just didn't understand it. All right, I could deal with 80-degree plus weather. It's the humidity that is just bothering me and make it feel like 100+ weather. And I feel bad for y'all down in Texas and everybody else that's getting 100+ weather. Y'all stay strong. I hope y'all got the AC going, and I'm praying for you, okay? Y'all, I see y'all later, all right? Peace.